Hey, Tacos and Geeks fans, this is Sean the Comic Guy with a review of X Men vs. Avengers. Now, I'm going to give you a little background on this book. This is a limited edition 12 issue book that started in April. And basically, the story of this series involves the Phoenix Force and actually just a battle between the X Men and Avengers for, I guess you would say, control over control over the Phoenix Force. Well, I wouldn't say so much control over the Phoenix Force. Basically, the Avengers and anybody in Marvel Universe knows exactly how destructive the Phoenix Force is. So the Avengers, being the government issue superheroes, want to kind of stop the Phoenix Force from happening because they know for a fact that the Phoenix only comes to Earth to look for a host, and once it finds a host, it's very unpredictable, does things that are really destructive. So basically, the Avengers, knowing it's coming, are out to stop it. Now you have the X-Men on the other hand, who know the Phoenix Force is coming, and basically the mutant numbers are dwindled, and some see the Phoenix Force coming back as a good thing. You know, this will bring back the mutant population. This will stop everybody from coming after them. Some mutants do fear it and don't want it to come back, but overall, some are happy, some are not. Now, issue number 0 was a really good story. It basically centers around Hope. We all know who's supposed to be the mutant messiah, and it's basically showing us growing pains with Hope, wanting to be independent, Hope going out fighting crime without the X-Men knowing, Scott being an overprotective uncle or whatever you want to call him, and just basically her plight as growing up the last mutant savior and all the problems that all the basic pressure that she's getting from everything. So that's basically issue 0, which was a pretty good issue. I kind of liked it. It was a nice beginning story. Kind of made you think to yourself, like, oh, okay, this is excellent. That kind of bringing back the good storylines and the great art. Now, when you go right into issue 1, it's basically the Phoenix Force is getting closer. The Avengers basically know about it. They kind of get a big clue about it when Nova ends up crash landing on Earth and explaining that something big is coming, and that's when Tony Stark's Iron Man discovers what's going on. So what I liked about the issue number 1 is decent story, starts to really get into it, but just like anything in any comic book, the best parts of the comic book are like the last 5 pages where you start to see where you have that little standoff with Captain America and Scott Summers, which is Cyclops, and he's asking him nicely, hey, look, we gotta work together, this thing is coming, and I'm asking you nicely, out of courtesy, will you help us, or will you turn over the mutant messiah? And Scott looks at him and goes, I think not. And then a nice little battle ensues. Well, the beginning of a battle ensues. So until the series is over, I'm kind of gonna tell you guys that so far these are great 2 books. I know issue 2 is out already, and I think everybody should pick it up and read the story for themselves. I'm gonna give the story a B+ for now, because right now it hasn't developed yet, and from what I'm reading, there are going to be other plot twists in it that'll really make the story stand out. So for right now, I'm going to give Avengers vs. X Men a B+ and say it is. If you haven't picked it up yet, you should pick up the first volume 0 and issue number 1. And by the time issue number 2 comes out, I'll probably give a review on issues 2 and 3 and let you know what I think of the story so far. Well, this is Sean the Comic Guy from Tacos and Geeks signing off, and want to tell everybody, keep reading.